The headlines. Trump's Favour could boost Somaliland's campaigns for independent statehood in Horn of Africa. This is the Voice of Africa. Stay tuned on the regional analysis. 6 million people live in a remote area on Africa's northeastern corner that has been battling for freedom of 30 years. Somaliland, officially seen by the United Nations as a region of Somalia, has failed to persuade any country to accept its status claim. Donald Trump's US president-elect victory has breathed new life into Somaliland's prolonged quest for independence, with some of his conservative loyalties suggesting it could emerge as a key element in his future Africa policy. Somaliland, which operates beyond the control of Somalia's national government, has plagued itself as the most peaceful and democratic place in the Horn of Africa. Somaliland's own election underway. This will be another chance for it to showcase its credentials. It says it has attracted more than 90 international observers to monitor the voting. Somaliland also has geopolitical assets, including the strategically located port of Berbera on the Gulf of Aden, that could strongly appeal to Mr. President transactions view on U.S. foreign policy. While the U.S. President-elect has said little about Africa in his campaign, one consistent theme in his first term in the White House was his competition with China, including a pushback against China influence in Africa, with Beijing increasingly entrenching its military presence in commercial link in nearby Djibouti, which has the biggest port in the Horn. A U.S. partnership with Somaliland could allow the Pentagon to develop a new naval base in a region of heavy east-west shipping traffic. Somaliland is one of the few African issues to explicitly cite in Project 2025, the 900-page policy document prepared by the Conservative Heritage Foundation think tank. This is widely seen as an indicator of Mr. Trump's likely priorities, although he has officially disavowed the recommendations. The document called for U.S. effort to counter malign Chinese activity across Africa. It's proposed the recognition of Somaliland statehood as a hedge against the U.S. deteriorating position in Djibouti. Somaliland also appealed to Mr. Trump's conservative supporter because it has a pro-Western government that has been willing to tangle with China. Its government established diplomatic relations with Taiwan in 2020 despite heavy pressure from Beijing. Two of the most prominent African specialists in the first Trump administration, Peter Pham and Tibor Nagy, has called for closer U.S. relations with Somaliland under the Trump administration next year. Both have been highly crucial of the government of Somalia based in Mogadishu, which has refused to make any concessions to Somaliland in its statehood bid. Mr. Nagy, a long-time U.S. diplomat in Africa who was appointed by Mr. Trump as his Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, last week criticized Mogadishu for its incompetence and corruption. In a social media post, he said he hopes Washington credits Somaliland for their progress. Mr. Pham, who was the U.S. Special Envoy for the Sahel region during Mr. Trump's first presidency and is widely expected to be appointed to an African-related post again, predicted on the weekend that the next administration will review U.S. policy on Somalia and Somaliland after it takes office in January. He noted that Mr. Trump had withdrawn hundreds of U.S. soldiers from Somalia in 2020, although the decision was later revised by President Joe Biden. I think President Trump made the right decision to pull U.S. military personnel out of the Somalia, and I see no national interest that justify risking American treasure, much less blood for the region. In Mogadishu, Mr. Pham told the Globe, any shift in U.S. policy on Somaliland would have major implications for the Horn.